Shine Campus. Welcome, everybody. This is our normal Sunday strength. We are inviting some people in, and so it's still our Sunday strength. We're still doing it. So today, I want to talk about secrets of a marriage counselor. These are some things that I happen to know and use all the time to help relationships. I want to give them to you guys. This is going to help you to know how to improve your marriage relationship. And so let's get into it. So I think that the first thing that I'll say is I know that the destination of our relationships, what we would like it to be, sometimes isn't where it is right now, and there's tons of different reasons that we could point to that happens. But the initial set out, and as a reminder, I think we need to kind of know, where did I want to be? Sometimes when we get in the storm, we forget even where we wanted to be or what we set out. And where we initially wanted to be was married to somebody, connected to somebody, creating with somebody, exchanging with somebody, somehow making our life better. That was the whole goal in getting married. And now, with all the circumstances that are going on, it gets to a point where we start to settle on this idea that makes us think that it might be a better idea if we didn't have that decision that we initially made, right? And you got to a commitment point most likely because you felt like this was the person, and then all of a sudden, when we get in the relationship, it's not the person anymore. And I find that hard to believe in a whole lot of circumstances. I know that there are the one-offs, but in a lot of situations, and the people who I want to talk to, who I think will benefit from this conversation, is the person who believes that there's more than just it's the other person, or more than that we're going to allow that to be the thing that determines our future. Um, so it's really important for us to be able to look at that. Is that, what did I really want, and then what's the hardship now? And a lot of the hardship are points of disconnection and feeling powerless, feeling like we can't change our partner, like they're not movable, they can't be worked with. There's nothing that we can say that makes a difference. We can try to say it different ways and it's not going to help. They're stubborn, right? And then eventually, like, we start turning into that same kind of person. Well, our whole world starts to suffer because of it, right? Like, our works is suffering because of it. Sometimes if we have our families, our children are suffering because of it. There's so much going on, and we're just looking for a simple solution. And I think that, you know, can we find that solution? Is there something that we can put that's tangible that can turn things around? And I'm telling you, like, there is something from my own experience, from the work that I do. These are the steps that will change what you are doing in your relationship. I will tell you this: is everybody's not ready for this conversation. Some people are looking for answers to how somebody else is wrong, and I don't have everything for why somebody else is wrong. I can't validate that for you, but I can give you something that could change your relationship back into the initial idea that you wanted. So we're going to go over three things, and if you have a pen and paper, you want to write these down, because these will be the things that I'm telling you will change. Well, ultimately, they're going to change your life. They're for sure going to change your relationship, but they're going to change your life. And so, what are those three things? The first one is to be aware of your purpose. And this is an interesting thing, because I think purpose is kind of a buzzword right now. And it might not be what you think that everybody else is talking about. So, the idea of your purpose is, I want you to be aware that your whole purpose in life really is to be that puzzle piece. So if you think of a tapestry or a big old puzzle in life, like, there's one piece that could fit in that one spot, and you're that person for that spot. And if you understand what your purpose is, it's to serve the rest of the puzzle, right? To fit in that scenario. So you have to become and understand that. In this case, if we zoom into that tapestry of, like, the whole world, your marriage requires you to be that person, right? So somebody was sent to you, that's your partner, was sent to you for you to be able to serve them. Now, the challenge with understanding our purpose in this way is a lot of times we think that service means to please our partner. That may be an outcome, but it's not always the outcome. So, service actually means that I'm going to grow myself so much that I can become the thing or the person that's the most helpful to the partner that was sent to me to serve. Right? That to me changes the whole game, because a lot of times we think that people are sent to us to make our life better. So just in that one step right there, you're going to change the whole direction of your life, because somebody wasn't, they might have made you feel better, but that's not the whole goal and how marriage really works. So this might be the first undoing of ideas, and maybe opens up another kind of box for you that you didn't intend to open up. But the truth is, your look may be different and you have to see it differently. And the difference is that you're going to need to see that, look, my partner was not sent to me for them to make me feel better in my life. In fact, if I look at it, there's nothing that can actually make me feel better in my life except for one thing. And that one thing is you doing the things that you need to do to get to a better place. Well, how do we do that? In this case, there's two things that I'm going to give you that you can do to help look at being able to do your purpose, be aware of your purpose. The first thing is you need to be a truth seeker. A lot of times we don't look for the truth. We just look for things that match our feelings, right? So whatever is my feeling about something, I need to just find things that are going to legitimize that. That's why scrolling gets to be so tempting for us, is because we're not really looking for the truth. We're looking for things that match our feelings, right? And so instead, if we can be a truth seeker, look for what's really true, right? And the more that you look for the truth, you're going to find things that are going to help you grow your awareness of your purpose. The second thing is you need to align all of your actions with the sentence that I gave you for purpose, which is for you to be able to serve people. You must do this inside out, though, right? So you can't say, look, I'm going to start going to the soup kitchen and start serving, and that's going to make me understand my purpose. That's not how it works. Instead, it has to be, look, I'm doing my studies. I'm learning more about what it means to understand truth. I'm learning more about what it means to be in relationships. I'm learning more about how my past has affected my current and my future, or how it will affect my future. I'm learning more about how to do the future different. I'm just growing me as a person, right? So if you're able to focus on that, then it helps you to align closer to you being able to serve others. Why does it help you to serve others? It helps you to serve others because the more that you understand you, then you can give that thing. The picture that I have in my mind, just so I can be clear for you guys, is the idea that I serve others to me is like that, like a fruit tree, right? So a fruit tree only produces one kind of fruit. And because it only produces one kind of fruit, it can't be like I'm a pear tree and a orange tree at the same time. I'm whatever kind of tree that I am, but I'm going to make sure it's the best fruit that gets produced. And it doesn't have an intention to be anything else. And so part of you is growing that so that people can have the ability to get the best from you that they possibly can. In this case, it's your partner who was sent to you to serve, for you to serve. All right. So that's the first thing. You have to become aware of your purpose. The second thing is you have to stay ready for opportunity, right? So part of us not being ready for our opportunity is we have a battle that goes on inside of us. And it's a battle between two things: a battle between one, being about our feelings and being driven by what we feel and trying to get the next good feeling and being focused on resolving those kinds of things. And if you think about in your marriage, like, you might just not want to lose the battle. That's a feeling, right? I might not, I might have been in a previous scenario where I got abandoned. So I might be fighting over that situation, or there was some hurt in my life and I might be fighting about that situation in my relationship. So in that scenario, I'm driven by feelings. But then there's another part of us, and the other part of us, and it's probably the side that gets you to listen to this conversation. The other side of us says, look, I actually have a bigger purpose in my life to really be serving, and I want to be able to focus on that, right? Now, one of those is going to grow bigger than the other, and it's going to be up to you to grow it by feeding that scenario. So the more you feed into this idea of, okay, I'm going to go with my feelings, I'm going to do the next thing. I just need to do the feeling thing first, right? Give me the ice cream. I'm going to eat it. Instead of being able to have a self-talk that says, man, the ice cream doesn't take me to the next spot that I want to get to. You have to decide which version of you are you going to keep feeding and keep being a part of. In order for us to get to a place of being ready for our opportunity that's going to be in front of us, we need to make that decision before we get to that opportunity, right? Once the opportunity hits, we need to be able to take advantage of it, but we can't take an advantage of it if we haven't been practicing it, right? Your partner comes to you and wants to give you a hug because they're ready to give you a hug after an argument, and you're still in your feelings about that scenario instead of being able to move forward in a positive way about your relationship. But had you been practicing, like, hey, how do I do the next best thing for my relationship, you might have been the first one to give a hug. So the challenge here is for you to stay ready for your opportunities that will come up. The only way you do that is if you start highlighting and fueling the version of you that's more focused on what you want to get to long term in your relationship, instead of the feelings that come up based on your past or immediate gratification, right? There's two things that I think will help you with this. One is to use your self-talk. If you use your self-talk to talk to yourself more about, or be a little bit more aware about doing the actions that lead you to the marriage you want, then you're going to be in a good space. A lot of times we're not paying attention to the self-talk that we have in our mind, or that's going on between each situation. We're not paying enough attention. And so the self-talk is just getting us right to the places that we don't actually want to be in our marriages. Right. The second thing that I think is helpful for you to stay ready for your opportunity is, anytime there's an opportunity that arises, I want you to base your decisions on what kind of relationship you actually want to be in, instead of how you feel. Right. So instead of you saying, oh, I don't feel like taking that hug that you're about to give me, do it anyways. Right. Allow yourself and push yourself to do that situation anyways, no matter what. So that's the second piece. Stay ready for your opportunity. The third piece is become it before you are it. So in this scenario, if we're asking ourselves, like, let me get to a marriage that I actually want to be a part of, leaving is not necessarily the answer, because you can't guarantee the next marriage won't get you to a situation that you don't want to be a part of, right? You haven't resolved anything. Even inside of you, you haven't resolved anything. In fact, the stats show that on your first marriage, there's going to be a 50% rate that people get divorced. On the second marriage, it's 70% rate that people get divorced. And on the third marriage, it's 80% that people get divorced, right? So those stats show that it actually doesn't get any better, which tells us that there's probably something else that we need to resolve if we're going to try to move forward, right? If we actually want to move forward in goodness and have a good thing happen to us, we might need to start here with these things, right? And so becoming it before you are it says that we need to really start acting like we're in a marriage that's good, right? Start doing the things that help the interaction that would create a good relationship. So sometimes you might be basing your interaction on, like, oh, what somebody did, or how I'm feeling about what somebody did. But instead, what if we acted like, this is the kind of marriage that I want? I want to be in a marriage that helps build each other. I want to be in a marriage that helps build businesses, or I want to be in a marriage that helps build other people up. I want to be in a marriage that illuminates things. Start doing those kinds of things that will help you to act like you're in a marriage like that. Be in your marriage in a way that feels good, right? So are you creating a scenario in your relationship that actually says that I want to be next to that person, or it feels good to talk to that person, or it feels good to interact with that person, or I leave the home, but I look forward to the feeling that I'm going to get when I see that person? Are you that scenario for your relationship? Or would it be easier if your partner avoided you and didn't want to be around, or wasn't around you because their life is easier without you in it, right? Can you be and make yourself feel like a different kind of person inside of your relationship? That's the challenge here. If we're going to say become it before you are it, no matter what your relationship is, start creating that feeling of this is the kind of person that I want to be around. This is the kind of relationship I want to be in. Right. So in this be it, become it before you are it, in this third one, your challenge is to be able to say, look, no matter what, I'm going to keep setting it up. I'm going to keep creating this scenario that feels like a good marriage, that um, is in order, right? That provides security, that is under control, right? That somehow we make each other feel special. I want to create those things. If you guys move on these three things, I promise you, not only will you change your marriage, you're going to change your life. You're actually probably going to influence, not probably, you will influence even the little people around you and other families around you. So give this a try. Actually, don't try it. Yoda says either you try or you do. And I'm telling you, you should. All right. And experience the benefits of doing it. All right, you guys, enjoy your Sunday and we'll talk to you soon.